So, morning, Joe. Another fabulous performance. I know you're going to be too modest to want to talk about this, but just for anybody who hasn't been following, we had an anti-post bet of 25 quid, of £20 each way on 25 to 1 chance Chelm's Cub, who's obviously through to the final. Yeah. So I'm quite sure you'd be laying off some of that if as the shrewd man you are. Each of the first two rounds, you've gone £100 all in. The first one, Chelm's Cub at 4 to 5, who obliged. Then last week, Baggio's Champ at 15 to 8 favourite, also obliged. Between them, they've won 18 lengths, so there wasn't too much sweating going on. And I had a quick check through, and of the 13 runners or 13 selections last week, you had 7 winners, including 4 that were odds against. Including 11 to 4, 13 to 8, 15 to 8. So, mate, you're on fire.
Yeah, happy with that. Shame we haven't actually backed any of them, but we're we're happy with that. Yeah, it's nice to put some winners up, and hopefully, if anyone has been following, then they've made a few quid. And yeah, they've been doing it well. We said last week that it could be what Chelm's Cub needed just to get off the front, maybe in a race the week before in the heats. He was in a really nice heat, and he duly obliged. To be fair to the dog, he'd done it well, and he did it really well last week to win again. So yeah, Baggio's Champ, he showed plenty of pace last week and got beat in the time, or in the first round. Sorry, that said that he could win that race if he'd done it right. He come away, he done it right, and yeah, there was never any danger. So the 2 selections we put up with the £100 have both won well, and yeah, we'll try and do that again this week. I don't think the distance will be as far this week if the dog wins, because it's a sprint race. But I think if he wins, then we'll be more than happy. Yeah.
Matt, we've got to talk about last week. It wasn't great, was it? I mean, you had a couple of winners, and I think you probably just about come out in front.
Yeah, it was another week of hitting the woodwork. I mean, yeah, there were a couple of nice winners. It was good to see Baggio's Champ do the business from the middle draw, which we expected would see him in a better light. Obviously disappointing that Bubbly Dancer and Kilkenny Santi were knocked out to kill the anti-post bets. But as I said last week, we both drawn in red. It was a serious concern, and unfortunately they weren't able to overcome the draws.
To be honest, I'm not being fair to you, because, as I said, I mean, 60 quid out of 100 went on 2 winners, so 15 to 8 and an 8 to 11. So, you haven't done too badly at all. So, talk me through last week. You know that we don't normally sort of allow 9 to 1 winning selections. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Doghouse Dazzler, £10 each way at 9 to 1. What was going on there?
I looked at the race and I thought, he's got a good chance here. I saw that for each Sussex Cup semi-final, they had 5 dogs in each. And I thought, with Havana Bailout in one of the other heats and Doghouse Dazzler being pretty idle out wide, I thought he'd get a nice clean run around the bend. He's got that staying ability. And I was just fairly confident with my pickings with him. And whilst watching it live, I was very impressed with it. He ran a very good race.
Very much so. And I was going to bring up Bailout, because you had 40 quid Bailout at 8 to 15 returned, and a £10 each way on Doghouse Dazzler. So I'm going to have to sit down and calculate all that out, because we're not, as I said, we're not used to 9 to 1 chances. You've also still got your Call Me Steve anti-post running, haven't you, at 50 quid at 9 to 4, is it?
Yeah, Steve ran well last week again. Thought he was going to come very late to try and catch Troy Susie Q, who ran a very good race from Trap 1. Hasn't been ideally drawn at all in Trap 6 this week, but yeah, I'm just happy that Call Me Steve's made the final. And the finals that are going on this week at Hove are nothing of top draw. It's quite literally the best gala night I've seen in a long while.